he had hacked into Paris Hilton's sidekick. And so we'd hacked Tom's MySpace, who was the founder. He was everyone's friend. Barack Obama's Twitter got hacked. And
what? Digital gangsters. So it sounds like this was a very prolific forum.
Yeah, a lot of, so there was some other internet forums around that time that I was kind of a part of, but there wasn't one that kind of brought together the hacker community that we had fostered during the AOL days. So there was a period of time kind of between the AOL heyday and Digital Gangster. So in 2005, Digital Gangster, I'd started it out as a production company. I was throwing raves because I was DJing and all this stuff. So it started out as this local production company that I was throwing raves and stuff under. So the website used to just point to whatever club nights and things I was throwing, but I had stopped doing that. And so the website was just sitting defunct. Nothing pointed to it. And there was a couple other forums. There was this one called General Mayhem that was kind of big, and it was just kind of it started out as a computer gaming kind of forum, and then there was one called GFY, stood for Go F Yourself, and it was an adult oriented for adult webmasters and stuff for the internet. So I had this semi-community, you know, from the work I'd done in the adult industry, and then, you know, the gaming stuff, and then all these people from AOL that didn't have a home. And so that's when I started Digital Gangster, and then all the kind of the elder statesmen who had already quit hacking AOL, elder statesmen meaning like, you know, 23, 24-year-old type, you know, came to the forum, and the current kind of AOL hacking scene was more shifted to AIM, and then they had joined, and then I had the internet marketing people join and some gaming people join, and it just started to snowball and gain traction. We were hugely active on kind of just the more of that data sharing, collaborative, like tactics, techniques, and procedures that would be useful against places. I think one of the first things that we did was we created a bunch of fake coupons that would say like, thank you for being an E-Trade investor, you know, take this coupon into McDonald's to get a free extra value meal. And we just make them look like super, super legit. And so people were always taking like videos of them. This is before social media was really prevalent. And but yeah, using these coupons at places like getting free pizzas and free McDonald's and Taco Bell. I had a guy that works for me now that had no idea that was us that had started doing that, and he was like, "Dude, I fed myself for like a whole year like with this shit." And it got to the point where these stores were putting up, you know, do not accept these coupons type thing. But it was all just this disruptive kind of bullshit that we were doing. But there was a guy, Cam Zero, and he had hacked into Paris Hilton's Sidekick. The Sidekick was a phone before the iPhone that had like a full keyboard, and it was sort of the phone of the stars before the iPhone became big. But her password was her dog's name was Tinkerbell. And the thing was that address book was just full of celebrities, and then it had a bunch of images on it. And so that hack had happened, and that kind of
that came from your forum.
That came from my forum, yeah. And so then my forum got known for doing just things like that.
So, hold on. So what did you guys do with the information?
We posted it. Like, we just shared it. So, I mean,
so it had all these celebrities' names, addresses, phone numbers.
Yeah, emails. Yeah, and then so there's private pictures. And it said, in retrospect, like, it became a huge sensitive thing, especially recently. I don't know if you remember the fappening, like when people had their they were getting their iClouds hacked, and celebrities had their sex tapes posted. And
was that you guys?
that wasn't us, but that's but by that these are the things I think about it now, and it's like it is a serious invasion of privacy type thing. Like, I totally see the wrong in it, and whether or not people are media figures or not, it doesn't necessarily give you the right to be posting the stuff. So, of course, regrettable behavior, but at the time it was juicy, and the media was just all around it. And
so did that break the news cycle too?
Oh yeah, that totally did. And tangentially, like, that's the thing that's funny, is that on the porn side of things, like, one of my buddies is the dude who brokered, because remember, her sex tape is like kind of what launched that. I mean, theoretically, by butterfly effect, it launched Kim Kardashian's career in some senses, but there was an entire deal being brokered between, like, Rick Solomon and Paris Hilton and this porn company that basically released the sex tape to buy it. So all of this press, I think, was, in a way, it was good, but at the same time, the methodology as for what we had done with it, I don't. It's not something I would condone, now or whatever. But that's kind of what our board was doing for a while. Is MySpace was really huge, and so we'd hacked Tom's MySpace, who was the founder. He was everyone's friend, and we'd hacked his website, and we directed a bunch of people to Digital Gangster. We hacked Tila Tequila's MySpace, and she was like the starlet. This is all ancient internet history stuff.
How much of this stuff hit the news cycle?
Quite a bit of it, yeah.
We're going to put it all up here,
and that's
if we can find it.
That's where it really started to snowball, because then members would come in that were fresh blood that had heard about this hack that had happened.
So everybody wants to be a part of this.
Exactly, yeah. And so you had these, but the thing that was funny is that people would come in, and then just like any a club, there'd be just insane amounts of hazing that would happen, because you'd get all these newcomers, and then it would be everyone who was sort of veterans on the board. It would be their job to kind of weed out and find, who's a poser, who's just here, who's trolling, like whatever, and would just run these people through psychological torture practically. And then anyone who wound up staying, made the grade, and then they would be the person that would make fun of the next batch of people that would come in. So it's this revolving door of just idiots. But what's cool is then people would come and they'd be like, how did you do this? Like, what was the method? And they'd really be curious. And then we would, actively mentor these people and teach them, exactly what we were doing and how it worked. And so some people would stick with it and some people wouldn't. But that was what was most awesome, is that you basically had this pipeline of fresh talent at all times, and people were just really curious about, what was really going on.
Is the Digital Gangster forum still in existence?
It is not anymore. I took it offline a while ago. Barack Obama's Twitter got hacked, and
what?
Yeah, and my homie.
That came from Digital Gangsters too?
Yeah. So
this is incredible.
You can look it up, but it's stupid as they. Okay, so the guy, he had access to Twitter admin panel, and he I think it was a guy, Mark Sanchez or something. He was a reporter. But Barack Obama. So remember, I said that there was this amalgamation of hackers, internet marketers, and gamers that were kind of formed the core group. So the bleed in our skill sets started to become apparent, because we had this section of the forum that was called Why Work. It was, Margorp, which is programmed backwards, and Why Work, and those were actually AOL chat rooms that existed back in the AOL days, that I had a sub forum that was just named after those, and it was for business talk and things. I said, if you're doing internet marketing or anything like that, it was like kind of the forum, the sub forum for that. But when they took control of Barack Obama's Twitter account, they were tweeting out gas card affiliate links, like. So it's just like, it's so stupid to think about, because how are you going to get paid? They have to know who you are, because that's where they send the checks. But he was like, yeah. Barack Obama was like, get your free gas card, here at this link. And
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.